Welcome back, friends. And today I have this massive mansion I built on a 64 by 64 lot in Brindleton Bay. But it's just the outside because this video is already like 30 minutes long and it's just the outside. It is literally just the outside of this mansion. So yeah, it's just the outside. It's just like the shell and like the yard. Anyways, this mansion is great. I haven't even furnished it yet. I have several plans in the works and like I was doing other things, but I decided that I wanted to do something else. So I was like, I just got a really good idea regarding Halloween, and it's kind of like a time-limited thing. Like, I mean, I very well could make it again in, like, July. However, I want to make it now during spooky season, so I will probably be having that out soon. But this mansion, it is gonna be a long time. I don't know how many bedrooms it's gonna have because it's absolutely massive. Like, this is the 64 by 64 lot in Brindleton Bay. And I really like this mansion. I think it's cool. I really do. I do think this is a cool house. I spent a long time building it. I felt really inspired to do something with, like, a garage. And I found a picture on Google. Well, it wasn't even Google, it was Zillow. I am a frequenter of Zillow and other real estate websites. Am I in the position right now to buy a house? No, I'm a child. However, I do frequent these websites because I like architecture and things of that nature. Yeah, and I've built a couple other things, but I haven't had time to, like, edit and make things because school, and I had, like, fall break, so during my fall break, I was, like, finishing assignments that I didn't have, or assignments that, were overdue and stuff like that, so, yeah. If you're curious as to where I've been, because you're probably not, but if you happen to be, I've been sitting, doing school. The Sims Summit was today. Speaking of Sims, the Sims Summit was today. Sims 5 got announced, and they're, like, doing a babies update, but you've probably heard, like, all your favorite Simmers talk about it. I was kind of disappointed by it, because I really thought it was going to be, like, this extraordinary thing, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. It was fine, though. It was fine, though. It was pretty good, though. It was fine. It was fine. I'll give it to them. It was okay. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know if I'm excited or not. But here I am, like, adding the harder garages. I ended up just putting 2. Because I felt like, realistically, you can't use that third one. So I just ended up centering the 2. I've been recently really liking Sims houses with garages. Like, my house does not have a garage. Because, like, that's not really a thing here. There's mostly, like, carports and stuff. But I have recently been so into garages. I don't like to build with the grid on. Only when I'm building, like, houses based on, like, real houses do I build with the grid on. Because I think the grid is ugly. I think the grid is ugly. And, you know, I'm sure it has a purpose. Like, it's probably there so you don't, like, mess up. But I don't really use the grid all too much. Like, I normally just toggle it off. And you can do that. If you don't know how to do that, you can do that by just pressing G. But anyways, here I am making this. My entire family, like, I always show, this is going to sound really, like, stupid, but I always show my grandparents my Sims builds because they really like them. They really like them. They don't really care what I do with the Sims. They're just like, oh yeah, you're little people. You're little people. What you do with your little people. But I do really like, I really, really like, just building random stuff and showing them because they find it so interesting. And, you know, it probably is really interesting to them because, I don't know, they like my houses. And I like that they like my houses. And that they care about my random special interest, which happens to be playing with virtual dolls. I don't know, I used Snowy Escape windows in this house. I never really used stuff from Snowy Escape, but I just felt like these windows fit really well. So I was like, I'll just use Snowy Escape windows. I don't know, it's only, like, 2 stories, and there's, like, a third story. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do with, like, that little circle. I don't know. I'm just grabbing stuff. I don't think I had my better build by. I don't know. And there was an update the other day that completely broke all my mods. So I haven't really been able to play. And, like, I'm going to make a Let's Play. Like, my Let's Play, I already made the sim for it. But I can't film the first part until I post the cast for my sim for the Let's Play. So I've been working on that. But then I just had, like, inspiration to build, like, I've had inspiration to build, like, stuff for Halloween, and, like, I've been spending my afternoon getting costumes, so when I take the screenshots and stuff, it looks kind of cool. I don't know, maybe I'm doing way too much, but it just seems so fun. I don't know, I really wanted to use rounded walls, but I couldn't figure it out. Rounded walls in this game make me upset. They really do, because I can't figure out how to use them. Like, I don't understand. I've seen a couple cool things being done with rounded walls, but I just can't figure out how to do it myself. So here I am, just adding, like, this big old shape on the back, because I wanted this, like, I had an idea for, like, an indoor-outdoor type of garden space. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever play in this house. Like, this house doesn't seem very playable to me. I don't know. I like to play in houses like this, but I don't know. I don't really like playing in big houses. I feel like my Sims get lost too easily. But I'm adding, like, all types of stuff. I really like building mansions, though. I haven't built mansions in a long time, but I do really like building mansions. I think they're so fun. I really do. I think they're so fun. I don't know, this house, it is really a trust the process type of thing, because it just looks like a big blob of mess. But it is really a trust the process type of thing. I like houses in this style, like, kind of L-shapey, like, mansions. I don't know, I don't think I'm, like, qualified to, like, build mansions. I'm very qualified to build mansions, but I'm not very qualified to judge mansions. But I do like them. I like to build them. But I feel like 12 bedrooms and, like, 16 bathrooms is a little excessive, so I would never personally live in a mansion, because I feel like it's excessive. Like, a big house is fine, but, like, an overall, like, mansion, maybe a mansion with, like, a lot of empty space, but, like, why do I need 16 bathrooms? Like, and who's gonna clean all those bathrooms? I mean, obviously, you can hire, like, help, but personally, I'm not cleaning all those bathrooms, and I don't think I'm gonna hire anyone to clean all those bathrooms. I don't know. But here I am adding, like, a glass roof. I never really do glass roofs, but recently I've been, like, more confident in myself for, like, glass roofing and stuff, so I've been putting, like, glass roofs. Here I am adding, like, a couple little bump outs on the back, because I was like, the back looks a little funny. Speaking of houses, I built this really nice house inspired by the houses where I live, and then I forgot to save my game, and my game, like, crashed. Yeah, so that house doesn't exist anymore. And I might just post, like, the empty speed build of it, because I really do like it. But I probably won't. I'm probably going to go delete the footage after this. So that house will probably never see the light of day. But if you follow me on TikTok or anything like that, you probably did see it. You probably did see, like, a cute little snippet of it. But unfortunately, that house no longer exists. Misfortunately. I don't know, but here I am. I really like doing this with, like, shelves and stuff. I don't know, it's probably awful in gameplay, because I feel like your Sims could set their plates and stuff out on there. But overall, I feel like it's not too bad. I don't know, there's probably a way to fix your Sims from doing that. But personally, I like this. I like mapping out my landscaping with, like, framing it out with rocks and stuff. It's a bit time consuming. Like, this, it looks like I did it so quickly, but this itself probably took me, like, 10-15 minutes. I don't know. I've been building lots of stuff. I just haven't really had time to play the game, and, like, I got a bunch of new custom content and stuff, and a bunch of mods for my Let's Play, so I'm, like, organizing that, fixing that. My mods folder is awful right now, so I'm just, like, fixing it. I'm fixing my mods folder, so, that's what I'm in the process of right now. I don't know. I added a lot of debug in this house, like, lots of debug, like, fencing and stuff. I don't know how many packs just the shell uses, and I'm not going to put the shell up on the gallery until it's, like, finished. I don't know, maybe I should put it up. I just feel like it's a lot. I don't think anyone really wants to go in and furnish a mansion. Maybe just the bedrooms, but overall a mansion. I used a lot of stuff, and I added some, like, stepping stones from, like, this door, and I put, like, a little outdoor farming area. I don't know, I just put, like, a little bit of everything, because it's a mansion. It's literally a mansion. A little bit of everything. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff. I ended up putting a gazebo back here. Like, I ended up adding a gazebo. I ended up adding, like, the backyard space in this house is absolutely immaculate. Like, I would love to live in a house that has this type of backyard space. Personally, not, like, really a pool, because I can swim. I'm a really strong swimmer. I just don't like to swim. Also, cottage living has really nice debug trees that I never, like, saw before. I got a couple, like, lights out of debug. I really like these cottage living trees, though. I think they're really nice. I do think they're really nice. I don't know. I like this house, though. I think this house is very nice. I'm adding some, like, ivy on the house. I knew a girl named Ivy once. She was very nice. But I'm adding some, like, ivy and plants on the side of the house. I couldn't figure out which ones to use. I ended up using the ones from cottage living because I thought the ones from university were a bit much. Also, that's a very nice weeping willow that I'll probably end up using for future projects. I don't know, there's lots of stuff. I end up getting out the purse so I can put that in the build. Sometimes when I'm building, I just get out random stuff from, like, the catalog because it's just easier. I also put a shed in this house, and I never really put sheds because I don't really see a use from them, but I imagine they have a child that just hangs out in the shed. I don't know, that's some type of activities that I would do, because I am a random child that just hangs out in random spaces. Underneath tables. Well, I don't really do that anymore, but when I was little, I would just, you would just find me in the most random places. I don't know, now you just find me at my desk playing Sims. I wanted to put stairs on the diagonal angles, and then I remembered you can't put stairs there, and that really infuriates me. And I don't think they're going to fix it with an update or anything, but I really wish there was a way for you to be able to put stairs on a diagonal. Like, I know there's probably a valid reason for why you can't put stairs on a diagonal, but I wish you could, you know? I built this gazebo, and there's, like, an outdoor dining space there, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. I thought it was really nice, so I ended up putting that. There's lots of stuff I did in this house. I don't know. The inside entryway, I spent a lot of time on the inside entryway. There goes the shed, and, like, I'm adding the, what are they called? I'm adding the trees and the tree lights. There's just lots of good stuff in debug. Lots of good stuff. A lot of good stuff in debug. There's lots of good stuff. I don't know, I really like these tree lights. And they're not base game, they're cottage living, though. So if you don't have, like, the movie hangout stuff, you can always just use those. But here I am just adding, like, a debug fence, which I never really add debug fencing, because sometimes your Sims can walk through it. So, but this time I added it, and I added, like, these lights connecting to the trees. And I just thought it was so cute for, like, this backyard reminds me of, like, typical, like, you know those typical, like, teen movies? Like, what are they called? There's, like, a specific name for them. But I'm talking about, like, you know, Mean Girls and stuff like that. Like, teen, like, what are they called? I can't think of what they're called, but, like, things of that nature where it's always the popular kids' party at their parents' mansion. That's what this backyard makes me think of. I don't know. I don't know if there's actually, like, at high schools where kids go to parties at the rich kid's house, because I didn't go to regular high school, so I have no clue. Absolutely not a singular clue. So I don't have a clue of what they're doing. I don't know. I want to add, like, a bunch of space in this house, and for all the stuff I want to add, I don't think I'm going to have enough space. Also, that debug, archway, a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about when I say that Journey to Batu archway, or that Journey to Batu adds a really nice archway. They're just like, Lena, what are you talking about? You sound absolutely like you don't know what you're talking about. But I do really like the Journey to Batu archway. I think it's nice. I think it's a good quality archway. But it's, like, in debug. I don't know where it's from because I haven't played Journey to Batu. Which you think I would play Journey to Batu because it's just a pack I seem to hate on so much. So maybe I'll make a video of me playing Journey to Batu so I have valid reason to hate on it. I don't know. Maybe we can go on a trip to Batu. You know. And go on a Journey to Batu adventure. I don't know if your Sims can walk through that gate. I really don't. I hope they can. And if they can't, that's just really unfortunate. And you can just teleport your Sims in here. I can't see why they wouldn't be able to walk through it, though. It seems like they can walk through it. I don't know. Sims are sometimes weird about that. Like, you think a Sim can walk through something, but then they can't. I don't know. I don't think... This house doesn't really have much landscaping. But I do like it. I like how I use those planters in the back. I don't know. I added, like, a little fence, and they have, like, their animals and stuff. I don't know. It's a mansion, so they can have lots of cool stuff. I added up all these windows because it's supposed to be like a sunroom type space. I think that's the best way to describe it. And here I am mapping it off on the inside. Lots of sunroom space. Lots of sunrooms. I've never been in a house that has a sunroom. However, I've been in lots of houses that have like screened-in patios. Screened-in patios are super nice. They're really nice. They're very common here because of like the bugs and the snakes and the creatures and the scorpions and all that fun stuff. Scorpions aren't actually fun. They're actually awful, and sometimes when I go outside to let my dogs out, I find them. So 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Scorpions kind of suck. I've thankfully never been stung by one, but I've had a couple of friends or like people I grew up with that have been stung by them, and they say it hurts. So, I mean, I can't see why a scorpion bite wouldn't hurt, but I've been told that it hurts, and I would not like to experience that, you know? There's a lot of things I want to experience in life, you know? I want to go traveling, I want to see the world. However, being stung by a scorpion is not on that list of things I want to experience. It's really not. So I added, like, a chicken coop. I don't know, I don't really play with animals. My neighbors have chickens. A lot of people around my house, like, where I live, because it's, like, open range, they have, like, a lot of, like, farmy animals. Speaking of farmy animals, like, some neighbors that live down the street from me, they have cows, right? They're like calves, they're babies still. They're absolutely massive. But babies, they're babies, you know? And their names are Mabel and Alfred, and they've been coming to my house. I don't know, I think their owner finally figured out how to, like, properly put them up and stuff, so they won't, like, be leaving or anything. But they were very cute, very, very friendly. They were just cows. And they just kept walking in my yard. And the other day they brought friends. And, like, I didn't know cows could run. Like, I knew cows could run, you know. They're like an animal. Like, I don't see why they couldn't run. But I didn't know cows could run that fast. And so here come the cows, right? We're outside, like, letting my dogs out and just hanging out outside. And here come the cows. And they're, like, sprinting into my yard. It literally scared me. And they brought goats, too. Like, little goats. They were very cute. Very friendly. But I didn't pet them because, you know, I don't like to pet other people's animals. I don't like petting other people's animals. I find it uncomfortable, like, whenever people pet my animals, so I don't like to pet other people's animals. But anyways, the cows, they just, like, ran into my yard. My brother really likes them, because he really likes animals. But my cows, they're not my cows. They were very cute, though. They were really cute. I'll give it to them. They were really cute. It almost made me feel bad for eating a hamburger. I didn't, actually, though. But I considered, you know, maybe I shouldn't eat hamburgers.
My alarm just went off and scared me.
But I'm still going to continue eating hamburgers. It doesn't matter how cute the little cows are.
But I don't know if there's a way you can select multiple things to scale down with. I don't know how you... I'm still learning how to use the tool mod. And, like, Twisted Mexi, the guy that makes Tool, like, responded to my tweet. And, like, I'm sure he responds to everyone's tweet. But it was a big day for me. I'm still trying to figure out how to, like, size them down with the tool mod. I don't think you can select multiple things at once. Anyways, I'm very excited for what I have planned for Halloween. Very, very excited. Well, it's not really anything planned. I was just going to do a couple cast videos and, like, make a video on how you can get your Sims to go trick-or-treating. Because, you know, spooky season. And I'm sure lots of people want that, you know. I really like the landscaping on this house. You know, I don't normally do too much for landscaping. But, I do like landscaping. I'm not very good at it. Like, I'm sure I'm better than a lot of other people at it, but me personally, I don't feel like I'm very good at landscaping. But I know a lot of people just kind of slap, like, the same 3 plants together every single time. I try to not do that. I try to always do something different. I don't know. I have lots of, like, interesting things that happen. A lot of things don't happen. But, a lot of things do happen, you know? My life is quite, like, boring and stuff, but, I don't know, I don't feel like I get up to much, you know? I mostly just sit and play Sims, except for recently. Also, I almost have, like, 10,000 hours in The Sims 4. So I don't know if that's a lot. It probably is a lot, but I spend a lot of time playing this game, because I play for hours at a time. I'll play all day. Like, if I have time, like on a Saturday where I'm not doing anything, I'll play Sims all day. All day.
all day, just all day. And you know what? I'm perfectly content with that. That is like a perfect way to spend my weekend, sitting here playing with my virtual dolls. I don't know. I've got lots of CC, and now I just need to go in and organize it. Like, I've installed almost all the new CC I'm getting, so now I just need to go in and install it. I mean, not install it, like, you know, go through my mods folder and, like, organize it and make sure it's not gonna break my game. I don't know. I have almost 200 gigabytes of CC. And I probably should pick up an external hard drive next time I go to Best Buy. I don't know. Here I am working on, like, my entryway. I end up doing a really cool entryway in this house. I don't know. But this is just the exterior. Like, this isn't even the interior. But I end up doing a pretty cool entryway. Once I figure out what I'm doing, I end up getting it the way I want it to be got. But here I am just, like, fixing it. I'm just, like, trying to figure out how I want it to go. And then I was like, well, I'll just do it later. So I go back to the front and finish my landscaping. I don't know. I really like the outside of this house. I think the outside is absolutely gorgeous. And I don't think I've ever built anything like this. I built mansions. I've built, like, a couple mansions on the channel. However, I don't feel like any of my mansions are like this one. I don't know what kind of style this is. I don't even know how I found this mansion, but I do like it. Sometimes I just scroll through Zillow. Like, a house down the street from me is literally on Zillow right now for $100,000. But it's not worth $100,000. It's not. And that's not even me being like, oh, well, it's, like, ugly and stuff. It's literally not worth that much. Like, if you saw this house, you'd be like, it's not worth $100,000. And it's not even in a place for, like, prime real estate. Like, it is the middle of nowhere. Walmart. You have to get in the car and drive several. Like, you have to drive a long time just to go to Walmart. So I don't know why they're selling that house for $100,000. I don't think it's gonna sell, though. I'll have to look at it. It's literally a house right down the street from me. And I got a notification that it was, like, on the market. Because, you know, Zillow sends you, like, emails and stuff. Sometimes, you know. I don't know. Zillow is a fun place. I love Zillow. I don't think it's good for actually buying a house. Or, like, looking at, like, housing. But I do think it's really fun. Like, I think it's a fun website to just look at houses in your area. Or not even houses in your area, because I think it has, like, it has all the, like, provinces in Canada and, like, the 50 states. So you can, like, look at all types of stuff. I don't know, the way the outside of this house, it's really nice. It has a really nice outdoor bar and, like, kitchenette area. I like the new bar that came with the kit. And that kit, it's not free anymore. It was free for, a while. But it's not free anymore. And I really do like it. I think it's very nice. It's a very nice kit. You know, it's probably worth the $5. I used, the Perfect Patio. I should have probably put a hot tub. But I didn't think there was space for a hot tub. So I didn't put one. When I first got Perfect Patio stuff, every house had a hot tub. But now I rarely put them in because I just feel like there's not really space for them, you know? I don't know. So I don't really put in hot tubs. But I do really like this outdoor kitchen space. I think it's nice. So here I am just adding, like, a couple more, like, little details. I was going to just separate them by that, but then I was like, oh, that looks bad. I don't like that. So I didn't put that. I don't know. I have a meeting tomorrow with my counselor. Not about anything important. Sometimes I just go hang out with her because Miss H is pretty cool. Mrs. H, she's pretty cool. She's really super cool. I don't know. I'll probably just, like, tell her about the cows in my yard. Because, like, all the other kids are so interesting and they go on, like, trips and stuff. Like, one girl, Zoe, she was just like, oh, well, I just came back from Vegas. And I'm just, like, there, like, oh, well, you know what I did over fall break? I, did my late work and played Sims. But she wasn't even mean about it. She was like, oh my god, Sims? That's so cool. She's like, I tried to play the game, but I couldn't. It was just really hard. She's like, that's really cool. She's like, I've seen some of the houses. She was super nice. But that's not the point. The point is Zoe was interesting and I wasn't.
It's always very nice. But I wasn't interesting. So, I want to go tomorrow and just, like, socialize, because I feel like I need more socialization, you know, just more socialization. I feel like I don't get enough socialization. Like, socializing isn't that important, but I feel like socializing is important enough for me to need to do it. I don't know, I'm not, like, antisocial or anything. Like, I'm very good at talking. I'm really good at talking, actually. I'm very good at talking. It's a talent. I talk a lot. Which is part of the reason why I started this, so I could just, like, talk about random Sims and, like, people would actually listen. Because when I talk to my family about Sims, like, they just, like, don't listen, or, like, they, like, half listen, or they, like, fall asleep, and it's just like, oh, okay, never mind. But I do like to talk about the most random stuff. I used a couple things from my wedding disasters, but it's okay, because I feel like that pack, if you take away from, like, what it was and what it was supposed to be and, like, the bugs and the glitches, it's not that bad. You shouldn't go buy it, but if it's on sale, 50% off, pick it up. It's definitely if not, it's in the same category, if not just about, with Luxury Party. And people might say that's a little bit harsh, but I don't care. My wedding stories, my wedding disasters, it's not good. It is not good. It's really not. Here I am, like, floor planning this house, which normally I cut out a lot of the floor planning because it just takes a while, and sometimes, like, the fountain that I put in the front of this, like, entryway, I really struggled with. Like, here I am trying to add, like, a platform so I can just, like, put a platform in that empty space. But guess what? Doors and windows don't work on platforms, and I don't know why. If there's a cheat that you can do to fix it, let me know. Also, I found out there's a bunch of different things you can do with the roof. Like, I didn't know you could hold Alt while using, like, the roofing, so I'm gonna have to try that, because I've tried to do a lot of things with roofing, and I just couldn't because I didn't think it worked, so I just had to do the best. But now that I know that, I'm probably going to, use it more. I saw that in, like, a YouTube short. There's lots of things you can do with roofing. This house, I think I used a vampire's brick, or maybe it's just base game. This house, I don't know, I haven't really used a lot of vampire, but vampires is a really good pack for, like, this type of build. I really do like vampires. I don't know. As, like, an occult, not really, because I'm not, like, the biggest fan of occults in The Sims, but I feel like vampires was done really well. Werewolves is not so much. Even though it's, like, the same type of mechanic, I feel like vampires is done a lot better than werewolves, because vampires, it was something we'd never seen before. Also, there's this base game, like, shingles, I think that's what they're called, and I've never used them before, and I was like, oh my god, that looks like custom content. That's really nice. A lot of the earlier base game things in certain swatches look like CC build stuff, because that's the original style of The Sims 3. The Sims 3 build mode is similar to a lot of alpha CC, and yeah, so the Sims 4 early build mode, some of the stuff isn't like this, but some of the stuff is. I don't know, I really like this house. I do really like this house. This house is very, very nice. I don't know, I used the tool mod to scale this down, and I was very proud that I was able to do that. I was very proud I was able to scale down some like, landscaping with the tool mod. Which sounds so stupid, because I don't know, I couldn't figure out how to do it previously, but I didn't want to just put, like, a stupid box there. Like, I could have easily just squared it off with, like, a box. I don't know, I don't normally build houses like this, because I feel like they're weirdly shaped and you can't do much with them. But here I am trying to put, like, a fountain in the front, but it's hard. So I don't end up putting a fountain. I end up putting a fountain eventually, but it's just really hard to get the fountain in the first place. I don't know. Sometimes a lot of things like that are really hard to do. And it made the lighting all weird. Like, once I got to a certain point, it made the lighting look really bad, so I had to fix it. But here I am just adding, like, a couple things. Like, the floor plan. I didn't cut out any of the floor plan in this house. Because, like, a bunch of people are like, oh, well, how do you get your floor plans to, like... I get, like, a lot of DMs and stuff about how I get my floor plans to come together so easily. And I don't. I really don't. I struggle with a lot of floor plans, especially, like, family homes. Typically, the floor plan just, like, comes together.
But for big mansions, floor plans don't really come together. So the whole time I'm like mapping out stuff. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be this room. This is gonna be that room. Like that corner right there is gonna be a library. You see how I put like the ladder? That's gonna be a library. But sometimes they like don't. Sometimes it's not like that. I don't know. I couldn't figure out what to do. So I just keep undoing stuff. I don't remember what I ended up doing. But I ended up fixing, like, the lighting. I was trying to figure out why the lighting was broken. And that fixed my lighting. I don't know. So I was like, oh, well, if that works, then I can get rid of that, build my thing again, and then... I don't know. I don't think I watched any, like, thing specific while I built this house. Like, I know there was one house where I sat and I watched High School Musical 2 while I built it. I don't know. I would like to go and watch some, like, old Disney movies or maybe Disney shows and then recreate the houses, because that just seems so fun. I don't know. I do like to build houses from real life, but I don't really feel like I watch anything that, you know, you can build houses from. Like, things like Euphoria and, like, Stranger Things, they don't interest me. Like, I know a lot of kids my age are, like, watching them, but me personally, it's not for me. It's really not. I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of, like, things like that. Not just because of the subject natures they cover, but just overall, I'm not a big fan, you know? Just not a big fan. And, you know, the actors, and I've seen, like, clips and stuff on, like, social media and stuff, but I don't like Euphoria. I really don't. I don't know, I'm sure the actors and actresses are great. I know, like, Zendaya's in it, and Zendaya's great. I watched Zendaya on Disney Channel, but I don't like Euphoria. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back and watch it and be like, oh my god, this show is so good. But as for right now, I don't like Euphoria. It's not my cup of tea. It's like Stranger Things. I am not a fan of Stranger Things. I don't know. Maybe those shows could possibly fall into the same categories like Riverdale. One of those shows I just put on in the background. Like Riverdale, I couldn't tell you what's happening in Riverdale. I really could not tell you what is going on. I couldn't tell you what's going on in Riverdale. It's one of those shows I put on in the background. It is literally one of those shows I put on in the background. Because it's so easy. It's not easy to follow along with, but it's just like, you get the point, you know? You watch a couple episodes, you get the point. Riverdale's kind of gone to garbage, though. It never was really good, but it was kind of good when it first started out. I think the last season will be pretty good, because they're basing it off of the original comics that the original Riverdale is based off of. I don't know. I'll probably end up changing these stairs. I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV. I really don't. I don't know. I'm probably going to change those stairs. I haven't decided yet. But I don't watch a lot of TV. And, you know, there's a couple things I watch. Like, sometimes I watch, like, stuff. Like, I just watched the new Monster High movie. For, like, nostalgia purposes. And it wasn't... Okay, so, it wasn't bad. But it wasn't good. You know, I feel like they stripped a lot of the character from the characters, but, and they made Draculaura kind of mean, and I didn't like that, because her whole personality trait was that she's a nice vampire, who is vegetarian. I do like the G3 dolls, though. I think they're really nice. I haven't bought any of them. Like, I have a bunch of old Monster High dolls from, like, when I was younger. But I haven't bought any of the newer ones. Not because they're, like, dolls and I think I'm, like, too old to play with dolls. I haven't bought them because I just haven't left the house. But I'm gonna pick up them. Because I like the way I think they look a lot more realistic than the ones I played with. Because I've seen comparisons of the original ones next to the new ones. And the original ones look sick. They look sickly. So, yeah, Monster High is so fun. I love Monster High, I really do. My little sister is about the age that they're, like, marketing to. And, yeah. That's it. That's about it. Monster High is so fun. Anyways, I hope you have a good day. Do something beneficial to not only yourself, but, yeah. And if there's not a place for you in the world, make one. Bye.